everyone. Hello, my beautiful people. Yes, it's good to have you here again. How you all doing today? It's a fresh start, and I really appreciate you guys for your support and your love. It has been immense, I would say. And also, don't forget that this is the best place to be because we give you trending, exciting, reliable, and authentic happenings. So if you want to get the most recent and reliable happenings, this is the best place to be. And you know that we are here to give you the best. Okay, guys, right here, you would not believe this. It is about Edo State, and we all know what has been going on in that state. But this time around, it keeps being from one court case to the other, and it seems they are not ready to stop anytime soon before the election. And you know what? OBASEKI is in fresh trouble because the APC has sued his deputy, that is Philip SHAIBU, for disqualification. Yes, I wonder when all this is going to stop and for them to focus more on their election that is just before them. And that is, as if that is not enough, we also gather that NRM drags INEC APC to court. What is it about all of these court cases? I think this has got to really stop. They have to, relax and ensure that they have a peaceful election, because with all of these court cases here and there, there's likely not to be a peaceful election. But anyway, let's see how it goes before we get into the details of all this. You know how we do it right here. If you haven't subscribed, ensure you hit the subscribe button immediately, and also give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell, because that is the only way we feel that you are supporting this channel. Yes, you saw our videos and you like them and you are supportive of everything we do here. Okay, guys, let us dive right into the details of this report without wasting much time. The game is getting messier as the APC and one Mr. Edobo Williams has sued the Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki, the People's Democratic Party, and INEC over false declaration of documents by the Deputy Governor, Philip SHAIBU. The case borders on false declaration under oath, and it is compelling the court to restrain INEC from accepting the candidacy of Obaseki and Philip SHAIBU. The party alleges that Philip SHAIBU presented forged WAEC and tax clearance to INEC, contrary to Section 31 of the Electoral Act and 182 of the Constitution. When INEC earlier published the documents of Governor Godwin Obaseki, the Deputy Governor Philip SHAIBU, some discrepancies were found at in some quarters. Yes, this is a developing story, and we will bring this to you. But before we analyze what is going on there, let us quickly hit that of NRM that has decided to sue INEC also, and the All Progressive Congress. Yes. Says the National Rescue Movement, NRM, and its candidate in the forthcoming Edo State September 19, 2020 gubernatorial election, Steve Nash Ozono, had dragged the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, the All Progressive Congress, APC, Osage IZE IYAMU, and Gani Audu to the Abuja Federal High Court, saying the APC does not have a candidate for the September 19, 2020 governorship election. In a suit FHC/ABJ/CS/743/2020 filed at the Federal High Court Abuja by its lawyer Valentine Ofia, the party prayed the court for the determination of the following: whether after due construction of Section 177C of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Section 31 and 153 of the Electoral Act, laws of the Federation of Nigeria, and the guidelines for the submission of candidates of political parties issued by the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, can be the first defendant, INEC, lawfully deemed that the list of candidates of the second defendant, APC, for the Edo gubernatorial election to be held on September 19th has been submitted to it by virtue of the letter dated 29th June 2020, signed by John Akpan, Udo Edeye, and Mai Malabuni, when the said letter was not signed by the National Chairman and National Secretary of the second defendant. Whether after due construction of Section 153 of the Electoral Act, laws of the Federation of Nigeria, and the guidelines for the submission of nomination forms of candidates issued by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, can the first defendant lawfully deemed that the list of candidates of the second defendant for the Edo State gubernatorial election to be held on September 19, 2020, has been submitted to it by virtue of the letter dated 29th June 2020 issued by the National Secretary of the Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Committee and National Chairman of the Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Committee of the second defendant. Whether after due construction of Section 183, 222A, and 223 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria can the first defendant lawfully deem that the list of candidates of the second defendant for the Edo State gubernatorial election to be held on September 19 has been submitted to it by virtue of the letter dated 29th June, signed by John Akpan, Udo Edege, and Mai Malabuni, when the said letter was signed by Governor of Yobe State. Whether after due construction of Section 177, 222A, and 223 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria can the first defendant lawfully deem that the list of candidates of the second defendant for the Edo State gubernatorial election to be held on September 19 has been submitted to it by virtue of the letter dated 29th June 2020 by John Akpan, Udo Edege, and Mai Malabuni, when the said letter was signed by John Akpan, Udo Edege, who is not a member of the second defendant. Yes, NRM's claim against the defendants as follows. A declaration that the list of candidates of the second defendant for the Edo State gubernatorial election to be held on September 19, 2020 can only be received by the first defendant through a letter jointly signed by the National Chairman and National Secretary of the second defendant. A declaration that the list of candidates of the second defendant for the Edo State gubernatorial election to be held on September 19, jointly signed by National Chairman and National Secretary of the second defendant, was not received by the first defendant. A declaration that the first defendant lacks power to receive the list of candidates of the second defendant for the Edo State gubernatorial elections to be held on September 19 from the Governor of Yobe State. A declaration that the second defendant has no candidates for the Edo State gubernatorial election to be held on September 19 by virtue of the non-submission of her list of candidates before the deadline of 29th of June. An order voiding the decision of the first defendant to include the second to fourth defendants as candidates in the gubernatorial elections pertaining to Edo State to be held on September 19, 2020. An order disqualifying the second to fourth defendants as candidates in the gubernatorial elections pertaining to Edo State to be held on September 19, 2020. An order nullifying the participation of the second to fourth defendants where the said election has already been conducted. So guys, that is it. You can see there's more to this because now another candidate is pressing charges that is the IYAMU and Gani Audu must be disqualified from the race because they are all pressing now that the letters that was sent to INEC was not signed by the national chairman of their party, but rather it was signed by the caretaker committee chairman Mai Malabuni of Yobe State, and also the secretary did not sign. That INEC must also come out to tell everyone why they had to take that a candidate's report from APC, and also that APC has no candidates, that before 29th of June they were not able to produce a candidate for their party. And these and many more have been held against the All Progressive Congress and the candidates of the APC, that is IZE IYAMU and his deputy Audu Gani. And all of this will make most of the people of Edo State not to concentrate in this election. And you know what? Before now, we said that APC also dragged OBASEKI to court because they said his deputy governor has some discrepancies in his certificate, and INEC knows about that he is not qualified to run for the election. So all of this is causing mayhem to the both parties, and I believe it's time that they sheath their swords and face the election proper. So guys, that is it. I really appreciate your time here so far. You guys have been simply awesome. And if you have not subscribed, please do. And also endeavor to drop your comments. You know, we love to hear from you. It's always exciting when I get to see your comments and your analysis of what is going on pertaining the Edo State political setting and the elections. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. Do have a pleasant time.